a quick brief chat to catch up with Frankie in between maps.
I've got Zelsis from Cloud9 joining me now, and I think the biggest surprise about that map was that HellRaisers didn't veto it. Were you surprised?
Yeah, we actually didn't expect them to pick Inferno, and we were pretty happy to see that they did, and I think vetoes went in our favor pretty heavily.
So what was the team chat like going into that match?
Going into it, we just knew like if we played our game, just played how we wanted, we'd come out with the win, and first map came ours, so now we're just going to second map.
And talking of great maps, I mean, it's the map you play most next, it's Cash. So what's the game plan? Is it going to be business as usual?
Yeah, we were, like I said, vetoes kind of went our way, and we were pretty happy that we got Cash as well. Like, they vetoed Nuke, and we expected that. So, yeah, we're pretty happy. Next map is Cash. They don't really have a good win rate on it, so pretty happy to play that map as second.
Now, how are your nerves, Zelsis? Because if you win this one, you survive till tomorrow's crucial qualifying match. Do you feel like you guys are not going to give it up? You guys are going to do it?
Yeah, everyone wants to win and wants to make London stage, and that starts with this best of 3 here. I was pretty nervous first map, but hopefully second map it'll be better. So.
Well, we can't wait to see it, Zelsis. Go join your team, and let's head back to the desk.
So nerves attributed to Zelsis in that first map, but I question whether or not nerves is even a conversation for HellRaisers, because I can't think of anything else to explain where some of these players have disappeared off.
Look, on that first map, when I'm watching them lean 3 players towards the B bomb side and still have them there until a minute 15 on the clock on their CT side and put so much pressure on Itza and Voxic over towards the A site, that just shows me this entire team is built. If those 2 players don't show up, if they don't frag, then they're not going to win a single game. They just, the whole game premise right now seems like HellRaisers are calling just to allow those 2 to do as much work as possible, and the other 3 just mop. I didn't mention this before, but Dead Fox, Hobbit, and Angel, the lowest rated player in the entire tournament, those 3 names come in the top 6 of the lowest rated players in the whole tournament, and Angel's last.
The bottom 6 of the major is features 3 members of HellRaisers.
And that includes, I mean, all these teams that have gone out already. So,
oh, geez.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so it actually only gets worse as we explore it further. But this is where, I mean, this is where analyst desks and hosts get a little lost, because you are painting a very bleak picture here, fellas, where you're almost suggesting that HellRaisers' fate is sealed coming into this next match.
No, I don't think so, because I actually think Voxic is a very good B player on Cash, and Is is actually at the A bomb site. Unless they've shuffled everything up and put them in the same site again, I think they've separated their star players, and I think they can do this.
Sean gives me a silver lining right at the nick of time. That's what I needed. I'm sure the casters did too. HellRaisers, Cloud9, map 2 Cash, Cloud9, 1 up in the series.
Keo, Flusha, and Automatic might just end this quickly. This could be a really, really rough affair for HellRaisers. They're 1 map away from elimination, obviously hoping and praying that they can deliver here on Cash to bring us to a 3rd map.
Well, they can't all be classics, Jason. Inferno certainly wasn't, but I'm hoping for more from Cash here. And sure, I think HellRaisers' stats are terrible, but let's see if it can start well for them at the very least on Cash. Ace is going to be tapping away through the smoke, but it's pretty much playing for a retake at this stage because no one's actually on the site. The closest player is Hobbit, and he's waiting for the backup to arrive through Highway. It has now, in the form of Angel, who's going to be making a move on Forklift, but a perfectly placed flashbang. Actually, maybe even from the CTs is going to destroy both of them. I thought that was from the terrorists, and now Voxic's on a 1-on-5. This has just kind of happened out of nowhere. Voxic's being pushed from every angle, and what a complete disaster of a round for HellRaisers.
That was indeed a flashbang from HellRaisers, and it was a bit scary because actually it completely blinded Kiyoshima as well. He actually didn't even spot how close they had gotten to Forklift, got blind, but thankfully for Keo, the flashbang also affected 2 of the HellRaisers players. So yeah, this crossfire ends up working perfectly for Cloud9. And even on that retake, it's a little bit confusing just because normally when you see a CT team playing that retake, the player who has a kit also has a smoke, and there was no such smoke on Angel. So even if they got into the bomb site, it was just going to be a tough battle the whole way, wasn't it? Obviously doesn't go in their favor. Flusha, as we saw in Inferno, doesn't mess around with that MAC-10.
Yeah, and he kept it for a while as well. I mean, I think he pretty much ride or die with MAC-10 in the last map. 3rd or 4th round he had it until. Zels is talking about some jitters and nerves that he'll be hoping are gone, and he may be recalled upon with his AK-47.
We saw those on Inferno. He had a couple don't want to be too harsh, but just a couple plays that obviously didn't go the way he wanted, that looked a little bit sketchy. But I mean, that's the entire point of you know, him being on this team, incredible experience, and that's also the point of having guys like Flusha and Keo, veterans from Europe. You have Rush and Automatic, veterans from NA. All 4 of those players have won a major in the past, at least one. So you have plenty of experienced and top-level players to kind of cover up those mistakes from Zellsis. So it's a luxury that a lot of rookies just don't have.
Flusher again with a MAC-10. Going to put it to use, and Zellsis calming the nerves with 2 of his own. Flusher will be found from the Desert Eagle of Issa. But realistically, the MAC-10 is not going to be great to hold on to against full armor. But they're going to pull back anyway. It's more about the Desert Eagle and the armor that they'd like to try and keep if they can.
Yeah, the MAC-10 will stay on Issa. The Deagle will be passed over to a teammate, and they've got 2 flashes and a smoke to use to try and do something tricky just to see if they can make something happen. Could be a pop flash towards A main to kind of swing in. Maybe you get a couple lucky kills, catch Cloud9 snoozing. It's not necessarily likely, but it is a possibility. I would have to imagine that Cloud9's going to play the next round a little bit passive, looking for such plays out of HellRaisers. Automatic spots 1. Smoke is going to have to be forced out. So they'll survive with the 2 weapons, or the 3 weapons, really. And it's 2-0 for C9, up 1 map in the series.
There are the entries that yielded the B site plant into the round, and as you highlighted, the guns have been dropped across. Angel actually going to be taking the MAC-10 instead. Issa, it makes sense. I mean, Issa is a player that has phenomenal aim, so you'd want him with a Desert Eagle. Maybe the one-taps can start to come into fruition. But there is a 5-7 alongside it. A couple of nades as well for good measure. But Issa and Hobbit have been destroyed early on. Issa will live to tell the tale, Hobbit will not. So even in terms of this round, Cloud9 starting with a bang.
Yeah, well, Cloud9 forgot the bomb. It's back at the T-red box in mid. It's not going to matter too much. Keo is watching the flank at the B bomb site, so we can always go pick it up, but it will delay things in this round. Although not if Cloud9 just kills everybody, which is looking like a possibility. Automatic, no need to peek again. Let your teammates take the aggression. Don't lose the armor. And there's Rush to step up. 1 last Deagle for Dead Fox. Not going to happen. Cloud9 out to a quick 3-0, but the rifles will come out from HellRaisers, and Woxic has 6K. So we're going to see that AWP in his hands. And he had some pretty solid sequences on Inferno. It was a pretty quick match, so we didn't get to see everything he was capable of. Should have plenty of time on this Cash defensive side.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think he had a single op on the T side, not that I could remember anyway. He had that one passage of play with a 3K that was kind of off the back of Flusher having the MAC-10, but that spin-around headshot was unreal, so we'll be hoping to see more of that from him.
A thing of beauty, but didn't really have a whole lot of impact in the game. He's going to get smoked off here, and Molotov, it's automatic. That's a boost on the truck way far back that catches Hobbit off guard. Don't see a kill coming from that every day. There's Woxic chiming in early, and this spray from Keo won't connect.
That's a cool Molotov he tossed down so he could peek, knowing that it would pretty much counter any other Molotovs for a good 15, 20 seconds. So he could take his shot and run away. He does take about 1/3 of his health and damage.
Now, Zellsis is in door, and he heard the footsteps in A main from Angel and Issa getting aggressive. I don't know if they made a noise when they were boosting, but certainly he's going to call out the possibility of it. So if Rush is able to make his way up highway, that is the biggest point of weakness for that boost that Issa has in the A bomb site. Keo and Automatic with the bomb waiting outside of B, throwing some nades, throwing some smokes. That's going to pull Angel out, and that's a stunning shot from Rush. Great exploitation of the attention grabbed on the other side of the map, and now that highway is open. Issa's still boosted up, but he's very vulnerable.
Yeah, the boost is such a strong position, but when highway's open, it really eradicates the power. He's got to watch 2 different angles. This is where flashbangs can become susceptible. He's been tagged down, but still alive. This is impressive play by Issa. 23 seconds left. Gonna smoke himself off the site. And now the bomb's gonna start to make a move up highway. So Cloud9 should have the plan, especially considering that HellRaisers still have 2 players on B. The fact that neither of them are rotating is quite a puzzling moment, but Issa is still holding on for dear life. Dead Fox is gonna get caught in the backside unless he's careful, because Kirishima is there, laid in wait in garage.
This is a super weird round. Automatic is all alone today. I think they know. Deadfox sounds like he might have heard a scope or a footstep, but he knows Automatic with 1 kill. That's towards A main. Still, Deadfox has not moved, and Kyo is wasting so much time, but Automatic's gone down. This is going to be a round for HellRaisers. No way for Kiyoshima to stop this, and the best he could have done is take the AUG away from Deadfox and force a rebuy, but it's not to be. So, a hectic round won by HellRaisers. Losing 3 players, not a clean victory. Cloud9 not going to be too upset about that one, but just a weird situation all around.
Well, Issa definitely deserves the plaudits from that round. Sure, Voxic came in with 2, but the fact that Issa was able to get 2 kills from the boost when Highway was lost is really about that second kill that he got partially through the smoke on A main that stalled the approach and put it into this very strange sort of 2v2 skirmish across the map. But if he goes down there, then there's going to be such a good foundation for Cloud9 on this side. It's very hard for HellRaisers to get back.
Yeah, the reason why that got so weird is because Keo had to pause with the op to watch Connector to make sure that none of the CTs could peek out and drop the bomb carrier. And also just didn't have the HP to go back to A main and try and take that fight with this in that position. So just a very, very strange scenario because of the HP from Kiyoshima.
Grenade a bit too high to trouble Voxic. In an identical position to where he struck from in the round prior. Lack of grenades on both him and Issa, though, could be an issue. Only the 1 kit. So HellRaisers may have got a victory, but if they can continue to apply that pressure is yet to be seen. Over a minute to find out the answer to that question. Cloud9 poising just outside of the A side of the map.
Good read, though, from HellRaisers, rotating Woxic there. Hobbit is on Highway, and they actually have 3 players inside of the site. This is going to be very difficult for Cloud9 to take, but with proper nades, they might be able to neutralize everyone with just 1 flashbang. Issa up top, he spots the head of Rush. Woxic is so low, 2 HP, spam from the door, but still this defense is holding on, and Cloud9 haven't committed just yet. Finally, the kill. Zelsis can't get the follow-up entry. Now the flashbangs come out, but still being delayed. Cloud9 have no entrance into this site.
No, and it's going to be going from bad to worse, you have to feel, with 15 seconds left. They have got the first entry in this encounter, bringing it back to a 3-on-3. 10 seconds, this is going to be pushed from the side. And a 2-for-1 exchange will go in favor of the CTs. Now they just have to wait, and Deadfox will make sure Flusher cannot get that bomb planted. So HellRaisers come back, but again, they lose 3 players. It's
a sick rotation, a sick stack on the A-bomb site from HellRaisers to make that call happen. Cloud9 just not expecting that many bodies there, and especially the aggressiveness of the fight. And that's confidence born. If there's only 2 defenders there, I doubt you see those players jumping up on the boxes and taking such heads-up fights. But because they had so many players, they could afford to kind of risk that kind of a stance, and it pays off for them. Last buy for Cloud9 comes out. They have no money behind this. If they do fall in this round, likely would have to save. Or a weaker half buy.
Both the same can be said for HellRaisers, though. Constant injuries and casualties has burnt down their economy.
We saw it in Inferno as well. Cloud9 did a great job even in losing rounds of finding kills, and Woxic is trapped now. Automatic has him pinned down with an AWP, and that should be an easy kill.
May have anticipated it was an AK-wielding terrorist rather than the AWP, so he felt like he could battle his way out of the corner, as you say. I mean, just 1 Molotov and he's a dead man anyway. Would have burnt alive.
Deadfox does have a smoke, though, that he could have laid down if Woxic had been a little bit more patient and given him some cover to escape. But this is still a position that I'm not sure Cloud9 will expect.
Certainly not. We saw Deadfox doesn't mind waiting for the right moment to strike, but this time should have just bit off as much as he could chew as soon as possible. Very different circumstance to the clutch he pulled off on Inferno. Automatic flicks across the Hobbit. His impact has certainly been felt by HellRaisers in this one.
This is great from Cloud9. This couldn't have gone any better. Obviously, Automatic being able to pin players down and respond every single time, but the fact that they've had so many picks, there's plenty of time in the round for Cloud9 to get into really weird positions and hunt down these weapons and finally force a full save out of HellRaisers. Zelsis has been at the door, and he's been able to get, there's so much information, even the completed final kill, the sweep of HellRaisers on the defense, and 4-2. HR looking at a pretty rough save round here. This is great from Automatic. Even, I mean, the Kiyoshima, you're right. Dead Fox, I don't necessarily fault him for trying to make that play, but obviously when you go down, it does look like you were just a little bit too greedy. Kiyoshima, that's just a really heads-up play as well, just keeping his eyes on that, because you could see Automatic wasn't even considering it as a possibility.
Yeah, it's just solid teamwork, just covering each other's backs as well, but you'd be amazed at how many times players just assume an angle is clear and it gets them both caught and killed. So good teamwork by Kiyoshima. But with all that being said and done, Moses, as he said, it puts HellRaisers in such a bad spot. Already, some investment has came up from Voxic, who's going to chip in with Kevlar and a kit. So they may be force buying. Yes, they are. They're going to pull the trigger on it.
They kind of have to. Although it is interesting to see Voxic go for the investment as well. We know he's going to want that AWP, and I think that'll keep the op out of his hands, at least for an extra round that Cloud9 won't have to worry about that. Boosting over mid, Cloud9 realizing the economic situation of their opponents, get aggressive, take all the liberties, knowing there won't be enough utility to kind of stop this play, and not enough powerful weapons to be able to turn it in their favor. This looks like it'll turn into a split towards that B bomb site. Keo and Automatic seem to be the default players at this B bomb site in their defaults, and still standing there as well. Zelsa's going to stay on the roof to watch the flank. Molotov going to force that player. Dead Fox stayed there as long as he possibly could to try and catch someone off guard, but he does eventually fall. Rush is traded, but a pretty easy take for Cloud9, all things considered. Zelsa's even going to catch Hobbit out in the open.
He's going to be caught from behind. Oh, actually lands the 1D. That is going to sting for Flusher.
Hello.
He's just going to back away, though, and try and hold on to this Deagle. It would be something to take into round 7, but yeah, in terms of the tide of how this war on cash has been going, it's certainly starting to favor Cloud9 more and more with each passing second.
Yeah, Cloud9's really dictating pretty much everything in this game at the moment. I mean, even the rounds that HellRaisers won, remember, like that stack at the B bomb site was just a really staunch defense, but Cloud9 were the aggressors in all of it. HellRaisers really haven't been able to find themselves an advantage, which can be tough to do on cash. I think a lot of teams really struggle with that fine balance on the defensive side because you kind of have to be aggressive in different scenarios, but obviously you can get punished very easily as well. Hobbit there, a new addition to HellRaisers, a relatively new addition to HellRaisers. Major winner as well from PGL Krakow in this very country, Vince. Poland.
Indeed, but it doesn't seem like Lightning is going to strike twice, at least not from this perspective. He's not exactly had the impact that I was looking for HellRaisers, and certainly not in this best of 3. 2 players on the B side. Flush up, Mac-10 of course. What else do you expect? And the aggressive Swede will get 2 kills for his troubles. That's pretty much the round tied up as well. There's no one else here for the CTs. They're going to be backing away. Maybe trying to get an exit frag. I mean, they've only got USPs anyway, so nothing to hold on to. It's more about, do they want to take the money away from Cloud9? Stop the farming from the SMGs.
I actually really like how bloodthirsty Cloud9 is being when they have the SMGs in their hands. They're just being so ruthless, and HellRaisers have got to just feel like they're just constantly fighting. Every single decision they make is bringing them closer to a battle. Hobbit checking the flank, but I don't think he's going to have the timing. And even Zelsis with the AK-47 being cautious since he's all alone. Doesn't necessarily have to be, and there's Flusha with a follow-up. 4 kills for Flusha in the round, a 6-2 lead. And, ooh, Flusha saved by the bell.
Some confidence, just standing there, like, the bomb's definitely not going to explode, I will not die.
I think he was just saying, you know, if it goes off, it goes off. I can't get far enough away to survive, so whatever.
Even if he had gone down, I think he had, what, just a Mac-10? So wants to trade out to the AK-47 anyway, which he will do, so the SMG's gone down, maybe learning from the previous map of Inferno where...
Oh, he actually got caught. I'm surprised he actually wins that follow-up fight.
Oh, and Flusha aggressive again, this time pushing outside of mid, I think.
He knows.
He knows someone's to his left, yeah, that's why he stopped. Dead Fox not long for this world anyway, but Hobbit is doing a hell of a job to hold on. He's took down 2 by his lonesome, going to be chipped down to 53, but one of the few good passage of play that HellRaisers have really had on the CT side of Cash.
Oh!
Did he switch weapon?
He switched to a nade. I think he wanted to flash in. Flusha, of course, going to find one through the smoke. That was almost Issa giving back the advantage that they had gained, but I like that call from HellRaisers, realizing at some point you have to be able to stop the mid take from the T side. There's a peek from Flusha, not going to happen. I don't know if he spotted the second. Looks like he might have. Automatic going to have a chance to cut off the rotation back towards the A bomb site. He's got that AWP. There's the flick up, not fast enough. And Issa's going to be able to pick that up and drop it over to his teammate in Woxic. So, another round for HellRaisers. Good job from Hobbit in mid. With the on-2 players boosted up, an awkward angle for Zelsis to try and find. And that's a very good round considering Flusha was so close to just taking him out of the fight right at the start a couple times.
Yeah, definitely. And even though Hobbit did get tagged down, he's still able to have so much impact in the round. Cloud9 will concede their first in 3. The other 3, of course, coming off the back of the pistol round. The HellRaisers were able to string 2 together before disaster struck. They'll be needing to do a lot better this time around. They want to salvage this half because already Cloud9 are in great shape. Some presence being established over on B. Dead Fox going to take the grenade hard, down to below 50% of his health. Oh, and to make matters worse, Voxic just hasn't really had any impact with the AWP. He's been picked off, not for the first time by Automatic. He's done this a few times already.
Yeah, peering over the edge of the smoke. Keo, we said he was focused and on point earlier. He was checking it again, but the AUG very strong at just holding that angle. But now, Dead Fox knows he's got the AWP to contend with. You can see how cautious he's being in terms of departing, using a Molotov and a smoke to get out of there. And there's a good peek from Flusha. He's been so patient. He's been watching that this whole round. Gotta be frustrating for Angel. And some really, really aggressive plays coming from HellRaisers. Dead Fox pushing through his own smoke, but he's got so much info passed over. Automatic's gonna spot it out. Either way, players at A, even though they're stacked up, one goes down, Issa's still here, and they know it. Oh, and he's completely blinded.
Dead Fox gonna try and save the AWP from Voxic's body. But in terms of the winning streak, it was a one and done for HellRaisers, which, as I said before, that just isn't good enough.
I think part of it is this game is just kind of like snowball out of control, because if you're HellRaisers, you probably don't really feel like you've been able to put up too much of a fight. Like this, I mean, from our perspective, certainly, it just feels like Cloud9 is just running over HellRaisers. And remember, even in the rounds that HellRaisers wins, they're losing 3 players at a time. So if you're HellRaisers at the moment, you probably don't feel a whole lot of positivity coursing through the team.
Dead Fox, of course, used to AWP quite a bit for HellRaisers back in the day when they had the likes of Sticko alongside him. So we know he can use it, but is he going to be able to hold on? It's going to be very close, but he does. So at least Voxic's going to have that in his back pocket. But yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. The rounds that Cloud9 are winning just look so easy, so comfortable, never in doubt. When HellRaisers are having to get their tooth and nail, really claw their way over the finish line.
And they've tried, I mean, that round, ooh, that's a bit of frustration. I told you he was really good at high fives. Would you rate the table pound?
Solid 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10?
Didn't seem like it had that much power behind it.
Yeah, didn't seem like he was too...
He was like half doing it. It's like I'm frustrated, but I don't want to fully commit.
He wasn't trying to break anything.
Yeah, I think that's where you're getting up to, you know, the
right, that's like when you start trying to break things, that's an 8 of 10.
Like Crims is a solid 9 or 10.
He's always a 9 of 10, yeah.
Exactly. That was weak.
7-3. And I mean, that's before we got sidetracked on table pounding. I was going to say that HellRaisers, I mean, they even tried to bring out some kind of like the flanks. You saw Dead Fox push through his own smoke. You saw like the reverse boost trying to drop down behind A main. And Cloud9 even had eyes on both of those. Automatic catches Dead Fox, Flusha catches whoever it was that dropped off the boost. And it's just like, if you're HellRaisers and you're trying to make those kind of creative, aggressive plays work, and it's not happening, that's frustrating in itself. Oh, that is a good save from Woxic. They were both about to die. Woxic still alive. His teammate has gone down. Oh, that's a great quick shot. Quick scope on a rush, but he's trapped in again. Automatic has the angle one more time.
Opening the door back up again, trying to keep Cloud9 on the back foot. Yeah, excellent play by Voxic, but is it going to be enough? They haven't been able to retrieve any of these guns. So it's still pistols alongside the AWP. And Cloud9 now beginning to make a move in. They got themselves a smoke and a Molotov. There goes the smoke. So they're going to get rid of Voxic. They know the economy's not great. In comes Flusher, hopping his way to victory onto Orbit.
That was hot. Flusher. That's one way to entry. I think you can only pull that off if you truly just stop caring. Angel sliding out. Flusher's going to find that as well. He's been a monster in these 2 maps. He's even going to push up even more. He wants blood. He's going to get it. A 3rd kill in the round for him, and there goes the op. Woxic never backing away from the fight.
But the money's not in a position to supplement another AWP. Voxic has the most on 4.3k. Here is the play. Very fortunate, actually, not to team kill. Issa just got out of way in the nick of time. But it seems like HellRaisers, they're going for these random sort of plays. They're going for this aggression, but the fundamentals aren't there. So you can try these gimmicky sort of pushes, but even if you do win off that, nothing's really going your way afterwards.
I mean, you mentioned it before this map even started. You talked about it on Inferno. Their record on cash is not good. And I know the desk even mentioned it in the pregame segment before the series even began. That I think it was Chad who claimed right before it began that HellRaisers kind of beat themselves in the veto process. Obviously, picking Inferno, not necessarily anything wrong with that, except for the fact that your opponents start on the CT, the easier side, and then you have to play Cash, a map that you have not had success on. Nice shot from Zelsis in towards door. And also, I mean, remember, one thing you can notice with Flusha calling, and the players from Cloud9 have talked about it a number of times, Flusha calls a much more like slow-paced, tactical, cerebral style of T-side. And that's, I mean, that kind of a style is a perfect counter for, you know, crazy aggression, those tricky plays. You know, it really reduces the amount of times you're going to get punished by some kind of, like I said, the reverse boost or flanking towards that B bomb site.
It does also seem that Flusher is somehow playing almost with no pressure at all. He's almost unshackled. This is a Flusher that is just pushing around every corner. He's playing aggressively. He's taking fights wherever he can. And he's coming out on top.
Yeah, he's been great for this team ever since he joined it. He's been phenomenal inside this lineup, a resurgent Flusher that we didn't see in Fnatic, and he touched on that upon his departure. But obviously, he's always been one of those players that delivers in the big moments, delivers in the majors. And then on top of that, I mean, there's not a whole lot of expectations on this Cloud9 team. They've looked good at times, at A-League especially. They had a great run to start off the event and make it to the Grand Finals without too much trouble, fell in the Grand Finals to FaZe. Here at the Major, they didn't look spectacular in the opening stages, in their opening games. They really had a rough time of it, getting blown out by a couple opponents that really left you scratching your head. And obviously much better than those games showed us. But obviously that's going to reduce the amount of expectations you have as a team and rush over the top. One kill onto Angel, the follow-up onto Hobbit. There still is just one player. Issa is inside the smoke, but this is all a fake. It's going to be Woxic under all the pressure at the B-bomb site. He hasn't budged, but he's got everyone's attention from Cloud9.
It's going to have to be a career highlight play from Woxic if he wants to hold the line. Does get the first, the bomb's gone in a pretty bad spot. This is where the high sensitivity can come in. Does land the second, but Kiyoshima's going to quickly avenge. Still, the bomb's not in a great position for the remainder of Flusher and Kiyoshima to get their hands on. The two Europeans going to have to see if they can rummage together something special. There is time on their side, though. 50 seconds left. Dead Fox, Org spray. Flusher can hear him right above him on Heaven, but doesn't have a grenade to fend off the tree room side. So this is going to have to come down to some pixel-perfect aim from the veteran. Again, doesn't have the bomb, so he can't fake towards A. He's just got to come out here and land headshots. He sees the first player, it's Issa. Here comes Dead Fox. Is he up to the task? Flusher has been an absolute beast this game. 27 kills in the first map. And could be on for more. 15 seconds, can hear the footsteps going left and right. Now got the bomb under his control, and out comes Dead Fox. Flusher with another clutch to his name.
Such a smart player. So dangerous in clutches, and he's ice cold at the moment.
Said it there, 27 kills on the first map, and he is currently absolutely ripping through HellRaisers once again.
I mean, Flush is going to obviously get the highlights and the praise for that clutch. clutch. Rush did a phenomenal job at that A-bomb site, all alone. The hectic nature of having that many smokes and flashbangs being thrown out to be able to pull the defense fully away. Woxic did everything he could, but the AWP is just such a tough weapon to deal with in that kind of a scenario. Limited vision when you're scoped in.
At this point for HellRaisers, do you just throw the towel in? Look, boys, it's not going well, is it?
Yeah, I don't think we have a mercy rule in Counter-Strike.
Well, Issa is going to at least give them some form of hope in this round. He finds a kill. He's been able to pick up the AK-47.
This is a Cloud9 that got 16-0'd by Astralis on Train just a couple days back. Looking good here, obviously, against HellRaisers, different class of opponent. Full mid control, and the bomb is safe. Back towards T-spawn, outside that mid garage. Issa dropped Zelsis, able to salvage an AK-47. Ooh, that's a fine duel for Angel to take with the 5-7. That is surprising. I think Rush just didn't quite spot him properly. Automatic gonna come back with the AK and pick him off. 35 seconds left. Cloud9's gonna make the decision to go towards the B bomb site. With those 2 kills coming out, they've been denied information of where exactly the defense is, and they're running into a stack.
A 3-player stack, and to make matters worse, the vent hadn't been popped, so HellRaisers could hear this from a mile away. Dead Fox with his deagle. Gonna try and add to his 4 kills. Not far off, and finally connects and should be getting the last, but runs out of bullets. So Voxic will take it away. HellRaisers do post up a 4th round, and they're gonna have 3 AK-47s to play with in the final round of the half.
Yeah, that's not bad for HellRaisers to at least recover and at least have some kind of positivity, because they were getting battered. That was a 4-round win streak for Cloud9. They've won, what, 7 of the last 9 rounds? Heading into this final of the first half. So, here we go. Plenty of money on the Cloud9 side to have a strong investment here and a strong chance of winning this. Quick boost up, there's a gap in that smoke. Flush is gonna go down to the AUG of Hobbit. Dead Fox was not spotted here. Rush peeked this direction but didn't see it. And that's gonna lead to his death. He tries to gain a lot of ground. Kio's had success towards the B bomb site. This AWP though, Automatic just missed an opportunity, and I think just because he got tagged, he took the shot. Jump peek for information, almost landed that. Dead Fox is stuck out in the open. He's gonna have to push forward and to Cloud9 territory to stay alive, and Automatic is watching for it.
I can respect this play by Dead Fox. It's also going to keep one of the remaining 3 Cloud9 players busy, but the other 2 of them have found Sanctuary on the B site. They're going to be getting the bomb planted momentarily on default behind the box. And how's the retake going to look for HellRaisers? They've got a Molotov, and now only a grenade alongside it as Dead Fox is found. There goes the grenade to the back of the site, it's doing a lot of damage, and Issa, he's gonna get himself too, but here comes Automatic. Is he gonna be able to clutch? He does land the shot onto Angel, but it's partially through the floor, so it's down to 17 as opposed to the outright kill. But the P250 really comes in, and Cloud9 have done it again. Another clutch. They keep the souls shattered of HellRaisers.
Flush is 17 and 8. Automatic obviously feeling it. So confident in all those repeaks, and another dominant first half for Cloud9. Looks like they're about to put HellRaisers in the bin. We'll find out if they can do it after the break. back to the Intel Extreme Masters, the final series of the day, perhaps the final map of the day, as Cloud9 runs up the score. 11-4 over HellRaisers in that first half. Just 5 rounds away from eliminating HellRaisers at the CSGO Major.
And the way that this game has been going alongside the first map, it's hard to see how HellRaisers can bounce back. So I'd love a close one. Is going to have to start right here, right now. This pistol, pretty much everything. And Hobbit is going to find the first kill, but Automatic can't counteract. He's gone down as well. Great start for the HellRaisers here.
Yeah, and Angel has the information as well. 2 players, he's just going to kill them both. It's all down to Kiyoshima. Automatic might have jumped the gun a little bit. Obviously heard a B-rush call, and he's only 3 players, so he gets caught out entirely in mid. That could be the one thing that trips up Cloud9 in this half. With such a massive lead, I mean, the T-side, this map skews T-sided, generally. But if Cloud9 just has too much confidence, if that reaches into overconfidence and they get a little peaky, if they get a little bit too aggressive, overextend themselves, they could be in some real trouble. We're not quite at that point just yet, but it is just worth watching out for.
No, absolutely. And, if they win the second pistol, then we're quite different shape. We're thinking, okay, HellRaisers, they've got to make some plays. At this stage, it's just about playing solid, fundamental, anti-eco sort of rounds. They've just got to make sure they don't give anything away, they don't make any mistakes. Been playing aggressively on the CT side, hasn't been working for them. But now on the T side, can they rummage together some plays? Voxic, interestingly, actually doesn't have a gun. He's playing a similar idea to what Flusher did. He's only got a USP. Let's see for that early AWP.
He's got a flashbang, though, and he's going to toss it towards Highway. I don't know if it'll be fast enough, though. Actually, they're just going to take this fight. That MAC-10 doing some work. He is eventually going to get taken down, but they know everything they need, HellRaisers, and they are going to win this round. Rush, just a little bit of damage to Issa before he falls, and the bomb slowly working its way into this B-bomb site. Keo and Flusha can really not do a whole lot. Flush is going to take the fight anyways, because why not? And it actually seems like Angel is almost scared to take the fight. It's just the USP waiting for Flush to peek into his teammate. Hoblet handles it, and Angel finishes off Keo. 11-6 as HellRaisers climb back in, but no investment that round from Cloud9 means they can buy up here.
They certainly can. It's going to be without any AWPs, but of course Automatic is just fine when it comes to the rifles too. He's going to have himself an AUG. This is another map as well where you have those sort of medium to long range confrontations. The AUG can be so powerful. The likes of Train does too. You play an AUG from mid, maybe quad side of A, B you can peek with it. It can be a very good all-round weapon. But early on the nade's going to be tossed in just to stop the boost. And HellRaisers going to just hold on. They're starting to make moves through both Squeaky and A main. Bomb under control. Issa putting down some bullets through the door, but it's deadFox that's going to take the early damage. This is now being tagged up heavily from Automatic, and they're going to be very close on their approach here with 2 low members. Make it 1 now as deadFox has gone down. Make it back to 2. Voxic's been destroyed, and from upper, Flusher will land with the UMP. And it's looking pretty precarious for HellRaisers. They've only got Angel and Hobbit remaining. They don't have control of the bomb just yet. Now they've picked it up as Hobbit gets himself another one.
Oh, Rush has Angel pinned down at forklift. They don't really have a Molotov or nades to flush him out. I think that reload is going to give Angel the opportunity to swing out to a new position. Celsius has to be careful. This is a tough spot to handle on the retake. This is a pretty powerful position, especially with Rush waiting over towards quad. There's no kits. Cloud9 not yet pulling the trigger on this retake. HellRaisers must have this round, and the bomb is pretty deep into the timer. Here comes the fight. Hobbit gonna hold on. Great headshot on the Rush. There goes his teammate. Tap of the bomb. Hobbit's got a peek. He's gonna find another, and I think this seals it. I don't think there's time. Even if Keo gets this kill, he does find it, but there's no way. Just gonna save an AK-47, a kit out in the open, but too far away for him to turn back. And HellRaisers, they live to fight another day.
They sure do. No players will survive the round, though, so they're going to have to dip back in and pull out some weapons and retrieve them. But Cloud9 only saving the AK-47 in the hands of Kiyoshima, also going to be in trouble. And I doubt they're going to replenish their guns. I mean, they could get a gun on Flusher, maybe Keo could drop something, but when you've got a lead, why throw it away?
No, but this can turn into a real scrappy half. due to the fact that HellRaisers have been able to win that. They're very much within striking distance after this round. If they don't, as long as this round does not somehow get turned on its head by Keo with his AK-47, which we obviously know it possibly can. 4 players going to stack up at the A-bomb site on the defensive side of things. But HellRaisers have a real chance of coming back, and oh lord. Where did Automatic get killed? Where was he?
Did he get sprayed down through the doors on forklift?
I think so.
He had a double stack. Kind of unfortunate. Rush at least is going to avenge his teammate, but going to go for seconds, and actually Angel's pretty low. His P250's doing work. Rush has picked up 3 kills. It may not be enough to claim the round, but again, you mentioned about the scrappy half that could start to fall into place.
I mean, Rush is on the flank, and the P250 is the best pistol in the game. Don't argue with me. Can't change my mind. That's unfortunate. Right through the edge of the wall in the face. Might want to back away. I think because Flusha has a kit, they're still going to move up, and I think Rush just wants to maintain his presence to give Flusha some kind of an opportunity. And now he's backing off. So he says, Flusha, if you want to go for it, it's all you, brother. But Flusha's going to stick around, not to try and win, but to try and take more weapons away. Look at the money right now of HellRaisers. It is in the dirt.
Can hear both players now making a move underneath him toward the CT spawn. This is where Flusha can really evaporate the funds. There's one, not a second, but that should be good enough, especially as Rush can save the AK that he picked up. That is going to sting for HellRaisers.
Yeah, that's the kind of win that doesn't make you feel happy. Doesn't make you feel confident moving forward. What a round from Rush. That is a great tap, and obviously the follow-up flashbang in towards A main. Keo had fallen in that fight against Angel, the duel of the AK-47s, but Rush is able to clean him up. He was just so low. So a great round from him. Player that in the past Cloud9 has leaned upon to deliver. He's been relatively quiet by his standards in this major, but they've had such great performances out of Keo, Automatic, and Flush at various times that it hasn't hurt them too much outside of fighting for their tournament life in this series.
And all those P250 kills were headshots too, so even the players that he was finishing off, excellent aim. Maybe a lot of confidence building for him. Kirishima, one of the other big pieces of the puzzle, is going to be called upon, and he can't deliver. Flashbang in his eyes. Zelfs is going to try and hold from the backside of the site, but there are so many terrorists forcing him down from every conceivable angle. He is going to be plucked out by Issa, and with him, the B site is going to fall. Flushes Molotov down. He can't afford to even try to go for a exchange. That's a very good way for HellRaisers to bounce back into this and keep their money afloat.
Yeah, they're really in it. I don't know if Cloud9 can go for this. I think they're hoping maybe this nade gets a kill, maybe they can force someone out. He says Burning so close to being picked off by Rush, but if they don't get a kill quickly, they might want to save these guns. Automatic can drop. Although they're, oh my god, double spam from Woxic. That is so nasty. What a great time for that to come out, because Cloud9 was going to be a threat in the next round, and now they can't afford to do it. They're going to have to just save with those 2 players falling. Fair play, 9-11, and we have a game.
We sure do. A slight saving grace is Automatic was able to hold on to the AWP. He has over $7,000 to play with. Cloud9 have plenty of timeouts. Maybe now is the time to dip into one of them. Here is double spray. Just holding down.
Is that his last bullet on Rush?
I think it was. just to rub salt in the wounds.
Piece of... Well, Cloud9 does buy. I have the full losing bonus with 5 rounds lost in a row.
Yeah.
So behind that AWP and Automatic obviously dropping at least 1 weapon. Flusha drops down. Actually, they have a much stronger buy than I actually expected them to. I've done the maths wrong. Issa gonna come over, top of boost. Dead Fox naded down. That's an awkward fight for Kiyoshima, and I feel like he never really got into it. It feels like he didn't want to commit to it, forced out by the flames. Small mistake. Players usually avoid that position out mid if they don't have a smoke to extinguish the Molotov, and you can see why.
Oh, Dead Fox moves too far ahead of the rest of his team and is going to get punished, as Rush will evaporate him, looking to extend his aggression elsewhere. Again, he's somewhat encircled by Tease. To get 2 kills from that position is so huge for the rest of Cloud9. Now gives them something to build off, and the spray through the smoke from flusha on point, leaving just Issa alive. He is going to be able to bounce back with a kill of his own, but he's only got 8 health. A bullet anywhere on his body from Zellsis, and he's a dead man. That flashback so good, and the one-tap is going to get HellRaisers their 10th round.
Oh, that was maybe the only way Issa could have won that. One bullet and he was going down. Rush does so much work and it's all negated. Great flashbang peek. And now he's hyped up. Finally now, HellRaisers have something to be positive about. And they can build into this now.
I thought Rush had done enough with this play.
I did too.
So huge.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did as well. Look at that. Just not a whole lot of HP. That flashbang completely catches Zellsis in the face. Never saw it coming. Well, we might just be tied up at 11.
It's looking like it. That is now 6 rounds in a row to HellRaisers. They finished the first half 11-4 behind. Not a single CT round picked up for Cloud9.
Yeah, this will put them on notice. And it also means that with HellRaisers now getting this close to bringing us to map 3 and also this close to overtaking Cloud9, not only must that next buy really probably win the round for Cloud9, they have to win after that. If they get reset, that would just be so brutal this late in the game. Rush close up. Automatic and flusha. Flusha has a flashbang. Not going to use it quite yet. Here's the peek. Oh my god, Rush! The 5-7 at that range. Now he's probably calling flusha back for that flashbang, but it's not going to come in time, surely. The pistol is spotted, the arm is spotted, Rush backs away, but Angel gets aggressive, and yeah, there's the flash. Just too late to help Rush, just maybe a second late. At this level, it comes down to that.
Molotov perfectly placed. Automatic can't face the tight angle. Elsewhere though, flusha is teeing off with his Desert Eagle. Oh no, they're not going to check the angle, but Automatic too wild with the CZ spray. It is a 2-on-2 and the health definitely favors Cloud9. Not anymore though. Kiyashima has to battle against the odds. He's going to pick up one, had the right idea with the smoke bang. Not quite on point though to deliver the fatal frag. And now Issa stands between Cloud9 and a potential 11-11 scoreline. 2 flashes to his name and a headshot to boot. And we are going to be tied at 11 apiece. It's unbelievable we've got to this position.
Issa's having a game and a half right now. That's 2 big one-on-one clutches. Hitting some stellar shots. flusha actually got a kill from Truck through a smoke into A main with that deagle. He followed it up with 1 more. Again, Cloud9 just so close. But doing that monetary damage, but that's not going to be anything to be happy about for much longer. HellRaisers on the verge of taking the lead in this map, a lead they have never held on Cash. 7 straight for the offense.
It's a map that many consider to be very balanced between CT and T. Some would argue T-sided, but it's certainly not this T-sided. Dead Fox gonna get flashed, but doesn't really do anything to stall or stymie this push. All the confidence, all of the aggression that Cloud9 was showing earlier has now faded away. Alongside that Molotov that's been tossed up through the windows. Automatic's gonna pounce first. One of the first times we've seen Cloud9 get the opening pick in these rifle rounds.
This is interesting though. HellRaisers haven't used a lot of they haven't used all their utility. They've used a good amount on this B bomb site, but they haven't actually attacked it. That is the most aggressive anyone's been, trying to lure flusha into a peek. It's not gonna happen. That pick from Automatic, he got bored, he got aggressive in the doorway and eliminated HellRaisers' presence on that side of the map. So now they have to slowly rotate back as they clear things. They can get mid control for free. It's just Automatic in the A bomb site spotting that with an op. Hobbit might turn into a lurker now. He's in checkers. He might wait for the rotations out of the B bomb site depending on where HellRaisers want to go. They're hoping that smoke is going to force someone. The bomb is creeping back towards the B bomb site, so they just want to force Cloud9 into a mistake that's not coming.
We're smoking off the T-room side, but with Zellsis, little ramp position. Automatic at the back of the side as well. Zellsis goes in for 2, looking for a 3rd and can't triple up, but has done damage to Voxic. Information gathered, 13 seconds left. Voxic's gonna get the first. He can hear that second player dropping down into vent. There's no real safe place for him now. Even if he gets this bomb planted, he's a goner. And he doesn't even manage to get it done. That is 7 unanswered rounds finally broken. Cloud9 regain the lead.
Yeah. This next round is so big. Both teams have to invest everything they have left in the bank to fight for it. And actually, if you look at HellRaisers' side of things, a couple players are missing, but I don't think HellRaisers can let this opportunity slip away. I think they must buy into this. Woxic can have an AK, Issa can as well, so can DeadFox. You can even drop down to Galils or SMGs if you really want the utility on this T side. But this late in the game and you have the defense desperate, you can't let it slip. You cannot let Cloud9 get back into this and take the wind out of your sails. Timeout being called as things are being discussed. It's now over, freeze time coming to a close. Fist bumps are exchanged, and here comes the investment.
And even then, investing quite late into their buy time after the timeout. But as you say, they feel like if they're going to be able to bounce back in this, it has to come right here, right now. They can't allow Cloud9 to get a couple of rounds under their belt, build the economy again.
And this comes down to Cloud9. Remember, 2 of those half-buy rounds are, Rush with the P250 getting 3 kills, and then the 5-7 and Deagle round from Cloud9. This is what's put HellRaisers in such a desperate situation. Flusha is most definitely going to have a really aggressive fast flank. He's pushed up in mid. Retake on A. You have to think he's going to push through the smoke pretty quickly. Molotov to make sure they can't swing out wide. Give Automatic some safety. Lucky to be alive, and ooh, now he's spammed down. Nice awareness from Woxic, but Rush still has an angle with the AUG.
It's going to be some significant damage also put in. Nearly finishes Voxic off with the AUG, down to just 8. Meanwhile, confrontation in Garage will go the way of Flusha. And elsewhere it is too. Rush came in with 2 frags of his own. DeadFox has to play aggressive. Back at the quad against 3, he's just going to get swarmed. So he's going to take the initiative and push forward, press, see if he can find the CTs in transition. He's found one. Rush just down to 4 HP, has to play the time, but he's going to go for the peak. DeadFox was otherwise engaged, and Cloud9, they will punish the force buy.
What a sick round from Rush. 3 kills on the retake, one of them through smoke. He's getting spammed down as well. That final kill with just 4 HP, had to play it perfectly, and he did. I don't think he realized he could have actually stopped this plant. You can see there, as he's getting sprayed from Angel, making DeadFox look for his teammate before pouncing. 13-11. That was also a crucial fight for Flusha to win in mid. And that one hurts for HellRaisers. Back to Deagles. The plant is going to help. They'll have a buy in the next round, but that's their last chance.
With Cloud9 picking up the first map, HellRaisers just 3 rounds away from being eliminated here from Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. The pressure is on, backs against the wall, and Desert Eagles, almost a full-on deco, just a smoke alongside Angel to play with. Now going to be split across the map, just looking, hoping, anticipating that Cloud9 makes some mistakes. But what we can say of Cloud9's defense thus far is they haven't really made too many unforced errors. A lot of big plays from HellRaisers. Angel's been tagged down to 16. Hobbit catches Kirishima on the cross. Nearly finds a second onto Zelsis.
Yeah, I think Zelsis actually spent some time taking out Hobbit's teammate, which is why when we switched to his perspective, it looked like it was a really awkward fight for him, trying to manage that recoil. Yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe there's probably been some mistakes from Cloud9, but certainly those 2 clutches that Issa wins, the 2 1-on-1s are the real daggers that have allowed HellRaisers to close this gap at critical moments as well. Now stuck in a 2-on-4 and a 1-on-4. Issa close up, shot from Automatic as Issa's in the air. Nice off angle, nice win. 14-11, and one more really dangerous buy for HellRaisers coming out here that Cloud9 have to live through. And if they can, great chance we'll see them playing in a series tomorrow for a spot in the top 8.
Voxic hasn't quite had the impact that you'd be hoping for with the AWP. Down at 14 kills. Flusha, of course, still in the lead with 24 kills, 107 ADR. You cannot argue with that, especially considering you got 27 kills in the first map. So he's went over 50. Zelsis, maybe called upon with his AWP, but smokes in his eyes, gonna blot out any light towards the sunroom side. He's gonna go in for seconds, though. That flashbang's good, narrowly off landing the shot while flash, but here comes Hobbit. 2 entries, he's had a bit of a quiet best of 3. Now would be a great time for him to show up.
I don't know if Cloud9 can go for this. We'll see. Flush is backing off. Automatic really not committed to this. Maybe gonna see if he can get one very quickly. Maybe to see if he can get lucky with the spam. He's got to be careful at how long he sticks around. Flush has joined up to make sure no one pushes upon him. What a round from Hobbit. The response onto Keo was a thing of beauty. And this round was finished very quick. A 12th round now for HellRaisers. Still able to fight. Cloud9 has plenty of money to drop weapons over to the teammates who have fallen. Zelsis is going to need one.
Positive of the round being finished so quickly, at least, is it does allow Cloud9 to maneuver their way into a save. And with 3 players and a full helping of grenades, going to be looking pretty good for the next round. They can drop again across to Zelsis. I don't necessarily want to call him out for his ult because he did get flashed right in the face and then pushed. Not too much he could have done about that, but it isn't going to be a secondary AWP. Don't think they had the finances to support one.
Oh, Angel hyped up. We've seen a number of times HellRaisers that, I mean, they didn't have a whole lot to cheer on for Inferno or in this first half, so this is really, really cool to see as this team can come alive. A lot of teams expected some pretty cool stuff from HellRaisers at this major. Haven't delivered quite yet, but they have a chance here to complete this comeback. From 4 to 11 at half, now sitting at 12-14. 3-man stack towards the B bomb site initially. Zelsis is pushed out a little bit. Automatic covering with the AWP. Keo is there to get them set up, but he's backed off.
Just bolster up the A defense for the time being on the side of Cloud9, but mid control is by and large forfeit as a result of that.
I feel like we haven't really seen HellRaisers attempt to exploit mid too often. They've had a couple fights there and they've used it occasionally, but we haven't seen that typical battle for mid really from either of these teams. Cloud9 a little bit more in that first half. Here's Angel. Oh, what a late peek with the AWP. Automatic takes a big risk. He's punished for it. And Cloud9 might get punished for it. Flush has got to rotate over with an AK-47. That opens everything up for Angel. Keo hears it. The jump up. He needs that kill, and he's got it. Now the hit is underway.
Now he can wrap himself back around to help his teammate out of Rush. He's currently there with the AUG on MBK. The smoke's starting to subside. HellRaisers, they don't have time to play with anymore. They need to start pushing through, make the most of this utility. Beautiful counter flash. It forces them back into A main. A Rush with a triple spray will get Cloud9 one step closer to survival. Voxic, all he can do is sit and look over the rubble of the A site, and his teammates were unable to do anything. He's going to take down Zealous with him, but doesn't really matter, all things considered. He's also being tagged up through the wall, of course, and finished by Rush. Oh dear, HellRaisers. Some beautiful counter flashes there, though.
Yeah, there really was. But, I mean, HellRaisers did that one, like, head-scratching play that they did in Inferno that we questioned a number of times, is right when they're on the verge and they've thrown out all their smokes and it's obvious they're going to execute, they, like, hit the pause button just a little bit longer, and it just makes it so disjointed. It gave time for Flush to come over to Carr with an AWP, which obviously didn't come into play, but it gave time as well for the counter flash to come in, and, I mean, Rush really almost needed no assistance. He's having a hell of a game, 27 and 15. Flush has been the constant for Cloud9 through these 2 maps. He's 25 and 17 right now. He was a beast on Inferno. There's just so many dangerous elements to this side with all the previous major winners. 3 chances for HellRaisers to force overtime out of this timeout. 4 of the last 5 have gone to Cloud9.
Angel has played in 7 majors. Will this be his last? Perhaps his last round at a major. We'll have to wait and see. An AK and an AWP, pretty much the only arsenal they have to work with, alongside a Deagle and Tech9. It's been a rough half for Cloud9, all things considered, but they have won 4 out of the last 5, even including some defuses, couple of big clutches in amongst it for HellRaisers too.
Yeah, but that start was just so rocky. 7 straight for HellRaisers before Cloud9 could respond on the defense. Problem was they did such a good job of at least chipping down a T-side economy that when they finally did win one, HellRaisers, you can see these buys they come out with. Fighting for your tournament life with an AWP, an AK, and 3 upgraded pistols, and Angel is hurt. Nade is gonna come in, it's gonna finish Angel off. Great damage to Woxic and Dead Fox as well. Flashbang to follow up, and Rush gets out safely, like Spider-Man.
Rush has been so sick on this A side, even with pistols. He's done so much damage, so much work. Even in that streak of rounds they ended up conceding.
That's the thing. He's definitely, Flush has had a great game, but Rush has been the MVP because even in the rounds that they lost, Rush with those pistols did so much damage, and he's the reason why HellRaisers haven't been able to get any real solid buys down the stretch. And look at this, the time is running down. Rush is going to be in a pretty good spot. If they come through the smoke, he'll be just fine.
You're expecting one of these 2 flashes to be used that HellRaisers have, but 15 seconds and they're taking some damage now. Hobbit down to just 13. This could be it. This could be it finished off. It's looking very likely. Cloud9, 1 kill away from doing it 2-0. Issa's going to be able to get 1, but no more. HellRaisers eliminated. Cloud9 will have to play 1 more best of 3.
Still a chance, still a hope for Cloud9. Rush leads the way, 29-15 he ends. He was stellar in this second map, but all the praise is going to have to go to Flusha. What a rock for Cloud9 in this series. What a leader, and you can see absolutely crushed. HellRaisers not able to meet what they wanted to do, the goals they set for themselves before this major began. Cloud9 is going to end it early for them as they shake hands and give praise. A really nice performance in the last map from Issa as well. Either way, we're going to head over to the desk. The boys are going to talk us through this Cloud9 victory.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was Vince and Moses casting that last game for you. And I think I've just broken my headset. So, Chad, Sean, why don't you quickly talk to me about how that fell flat for Henry?
Look, out of those 2 maps, they played 1 decent half of Counter-Strike, and that was the last half right there on Cage. So, all things considered, HellRaisers didn't really put up too much of a fight, but Cloud9, I'm really impressed with how well they did, especially in situations where they needed to be patient. Flusher with that clutch over towards the B bomb site. The clock's ticking down. If that was me, I'd be panicking, but he's just staying ice cold in those situations, and the team did it throughout. So fantastic stuff from Cloud9 to get through to day number 5.
I have to jump in as well and throw praise to the other side of the stage. You can see what it means to them. Issa, what an attempt. What a single-handed attempt to save HellRaisers on that second map.
You couldn't have said it any better. That second half was such an insane performance by Issa. You know, those 2 clutches he had, especially the one on the A-site wall where he one-tapped. I don't even remember who this is. Zelsis.
Yeah.
That was an incredible clutch by him. It really felt like they were going to bring this to a 3rd map at some point.
Yeah, it certainly did. I just wanted to get over to Rush because he's obviously ready to celebrate and start preparing for tomorrow. He's over on the stage with Frankie, MVP in Moses' words.
He is indeed taking care of HellRaisers, stopping that from going to overtime. And how do you feel about having such a strong showing where it mattered most, Rush?
Feels good to finally have a good performance. I think this tournament I've kind of been under the radar maybe. I'm doing my job, but still I'm missing a lot of kills that I should be getting. But I think that just this is normal me, you know, CT Rock.
And I also want to talk about Flusher, actually, because I know that you love having him as your IGL, and he really, really came up clutch tonight in more ways than one. So tell me about how he's shaped the style of the team.
I mean, how he's shaping the team?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different type of gameplay than we're used to, because when Mike or Golden was calling, it was more of like in their face, be really reactive. And with Flusha, it's more slow, methodical, take your time, and be really like, be a good teammate to each other. Like, wait, and don't just like rush into things, and make sure you're calming everything. It's all about communication and trust in your teammates, really.
So when you are getting run over slightly on your CT side, who is the person that keeps the team together?
I think everyone. No one really gives up ever. I think that we lose dumb rounds, you just got to forget about them. You realize that you messed up in the moment, but if you harp on that round going forward, it's going to affect you. So just forget about the round, focus on the next one, and that's all you got to do until the game's over.
Rush, do you know who you're playing tomorrow?
NIP, I believe? No, FaZe.
No.
FaZe. I knew it.
You are playing FaZe. How do you feel about that?
Rematch for Me-League. We're going to win, for sure.
What was the score last time?
On which map? It was 2-1 for them, but...
So you learned some valuable lessons, and this time you're going to get your revenge.
Yeah, we're going to get Rain back for that 3K on Inferno.
And also, actually, if Rush does win and go through to the top 8 with Cloud9, he's also going to do the worm for us on stage.
That's news to me, but we'll see about it.
I'm very convincing, Rush. We'll have a chat because we need to head back to the desk.
Oh, I'd pay to see that. That sounds fantastic. Gymnast Rush there offering us some smooth moves should they pick up the win. And of course, that's a conversation for another time. Still, though, to reflect upon their victory, it really was good to see that the individuals of Cloud9, bearing in mind, your stats did not look positive coming into
not
this.
on a team sense, but I think you obviously have to factor in that 16-0 that God Emperor Moses actually touted during the cast as being a bit of an issue. Now, that is really going to deflate your strategies, your stats, sorry, not your strategies. But they started the tournament hot with 16-3 victory over MIBR, then they had the 16-0 loss, then they had the heartbreaker to Vitality, the 16-14 game, and now they've got it done in fashion. So going into against FaZe tomorrow, it's hard to pick a favorite.
I mean, it certainly is, especially given FaZe's underperformances, Sean. That's wide open.
Yeah, I would say the individual players on Cloud9 are performing way higher at a way higher level than FaZe, which is shocking to say. I mean, Flusha in this series, he had some really crazy entry frags, just bunny hopping around. I saw it on Inferno at the Arch side, and then again on Cash going to the A side.
And the Cloud9 players aren't afraid to embrace the org, whereas some of the guys on FaZe are not really getting into the same boat, Alex.
Yeah, and save those stats for tomorrow, because you dug up some juicy nuggets that we'll delve into when we do get to FaZe versus Cloud9. That's just one of the matchups for tomorrow. We do have the rest that we'll be delivering to you after you get to watch all of that spicy Cloud9 gameplay one more time. On the other side of things, HellRaisers departing the major here. Close but no cigar to the Legend stage, and perhaps close a strong word as we reflect upon their results. It was a 16-4 thrashing versus FaZe Clan, followed by the victory versus ENCE, and then NIP doing quite the same to them. Last blow thrown by Cloud9.
Yeah, and I think this is just kind of what comes with being such a young team. I don't want to say a young team, but their star players are kind of new to this like tier 1 scene, and you know, they took that first step forward, and it looks like they took a step back now.
I don't want to get ahead of myself here, Alex, but with names like Issa and Woxic available to go to other teams and Mouse Sports in a bit of turmoil right now, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see some roster changes after the major's over, especially for these international sports.
I mean, it's unquestionable that they have certainly proven that they are capable players in this HellRaisers jersey, but the results and the games are on screen for tomorrow. ENCE of Vanguard, Ninjas in Pajamas versus Team Vitality, and we get FaZe Clan Cloud9 as well. I'm actually really looking forward to ENCE of Vanguard because I'm intrigued to see how they intersect.
Yeah, from a matchup perspective, it's very interesting, right? We have ENCE who, they do the fundamentals very well. Avangard, who's a little bit to the left of that. They have the fundamentals down, but they have their own CIS quirks. NIP versus Vitality. You've got Vitality who have one of the best young up-and-coming players in Zywoo going against Forest, who we keep talking about his consistent performances and being a legend of the game. And then we have the star-studded game of FaZe Clan versus Cloud9 with all those big names, all those previous major winners, and it's going to be a spicy one.
Yeah, 5 teams already knocked out of the Legend stage, Sean. Any lock-ins for tomorrow?
I don't think there's any lock-ins with those games. I really don't. I think they're all great matchups. I'm really excited about tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I am too, and I think that's where we'll go ahead and leave it. We do have so much more Counter-Strike coming for you at the IEM Katowice 2019 Major, but that draws another day to close. That's enough from myself, Sponge, Sean. We'll see you tomorrow for more of the same.